Good morning, Brian. We're really thrilled today that you've taken time out from your busy schedule down at Simon Fraser University to give us a brief tour of Elluminate. Hopefully you can tell us just a few things about yourself and what you do down there, and then we look forward to your presentation.
Okay, thanks, Will. We're going to take a tour of Elluminate Live today, which is a desktop conferencing system that we use throughout BCIT and throughout British Columbia institutions to connect ourselves live in real time with our students wherever they may be throughout the world. So this is a critical component of our synchronous distance education offerings. We also use it for facilitating meetings independent of geographic constraints. So we'll join different campuses together or different institutions around the province. So what I'd like to do today is take you on a tour of Elluminate, starting with the screen that you see in front of you. So we're going to look at some of the areas of the screen, and the first one we want to look at is the participants window. So the participants window is in the upper left-hand corner, and right now you'll see that we have 3 participants logged onto the system. Myself, Brian Fair at BCIT, and I'm the moderator. And we have a demo student, which is on a laptop right beside me, and we have Wilf up at CNC. So we're using 3 seats right now, 3 participants. There's a variety of other features contained within that window. If you look to the right of each person's name, you'll see a series of icons. These are the tools that people can use in Elluminate Live. We've got the small icon that represents a microphone. And right now you can see mine has a yellow halo around it. That means that I'm talking. And the demo student and Wilf have access to the microphone, but there's no halo, so they're not talking right at the moment. We also have a webcam. We'll talk about that a bit later. We also have the chat tool, which is the window right beneath the participants window, which we'll talk about in a moment. And we have application sharing, which is something we'll look at later. And we have the whiteboard. So this participants window enables the moderator to see what everyone in the session is doing and to either take away or add access to the different tools. So if you take a look at Wilf right at the moment, you'll notice that I am taking away Wilf's access to all those different tools. So as the moderator, I have the rights to do that. I can also add those back again. So that gives the moderator or the instructor full access to what the students are able to do. If you look at the bottom of that participants window, you'll see on the left-hand side we have a little raised hand. Wilf, could you raise your hand for me? So Wilf has raised his hand, and now the demo student is going to raise their hand. And you'll see that the instructor now is notified that there are 2 participants who have raised their hands, and the facilitator can see what order those have been raised in. I can now give the floor to those participants, or I can put those hands back down and maintain control of the floor myself. To the right of that, we also have some emoticons. These are the way that participants express their physical communication. As we would in a face-to-face session, Will, why don't you give me a smiley face to let me know that you're happy with what's going on. And the demo student is a little confused. They're not sure what's going on, so they're going to give me a little confused face. So those just flash up there so that the participant can see, the facilitator can see of what's going on out in the audience. We can clap our hands. We can use a thumbs down if we don't agree with what's being said. It's all fairly transparent and intuitive. On the right-hand side of that section, we have a door with an arrow. That is for participants who need to leave the session, so they can flag for the rest of us that they have left the session temporarily. We also have some polling features in Elluminate Live. Right now, Wilf, why don't you give me a green check mark? And the demo student's going to give me a red X. These are polling features, so I can either build polling questions into my PowerPoint session, or I can simply ask those on the fly. And there's a wide variety of polling features. I can also have multiple choice options. Okay, so right now I've asked the participants to give me A, B, C, or D. Okay, I could also ask the participants to give me a pace indicator. They want me to speed up or they want me to slow down. One of the great things from a facilitator point of view is that I can hide the results to polling. So if I wanted to leave the pace controls up there, I might want to hide those so that students who aren't able to keep up aren't feeling intimidated by clicking on the slow down icon. They want me to slow down, but they won't want the whole class to know. So I can hide those if I want. I can also hide these and then show the results to the class once everyone has polled in on a specific issue or question. So right beneath the participants window, we have the chat window. And right now you can see there's a variety of chat dialogue that was going on there as Wilf and I were setting this session up. The small area just above the send button is where you type your message. And I'm typing now. If you look up in the participants window, you'll see that there's a yellow halo around the little chat icon beside my name. So you can see that I'm actually typing something. And then when I press the Enter key, if you look back down in the chat window, you'll see that I have now posted a chat item. And if Wilf, you wanted to add something, feel free to go ahead. If Wilf is typing, we will all notice that there's a little halo around the chat icon in his participant window. You can also use this send to this room to send to individuals. So you could have private chats, or you could send to roles. Maybe a student who's participating in a session wants to send a message just to all the facilitators or to just the students. They can do that as well. So we're going to move on down the line to the audio controls. Audio controls in the lower left, and this is simply an area where you can control the speaker and microphone volumes. You also press the microphone button when you want to talk, and you press it when you're finished. Elluminate Live also allows for multiple speakers at the same time, so it just depends on the kind of session you're having, whether you do that or not. A presentation is more one way, one person, whereas an open dialogue, you might want to have multiple speakers. And just below that is the record controls. So this allows a facilitator to actually control the recording of the whole session, to pause it, to resume it, and it can then be exported afterwards and put into your asynchronous online course. For example, if you had a guest speaker, they could come in, you could control their presentation and record it to the class, and then you could archive that for future classes. The large area of the screen where you see the PowerPoint slides is called the whiteboard. So this is the interactive area of the screen. You'll notice right now I am using a device to identify different parts of the screen that I'm talking about. I can also draw. I can also have my students draw. So I might have some images I throw up on the screen, or we might do a brainstorming session where everyone can contribute to the whiteboard. There's all kinds of features here that would be dependent